In a modest home on the outskirts of Los Angeles, the soft whir of a ceiling fan blended with the distant roar of motorcycles and laughter. Inside, Mia stirred a pot of chili, her demeanor calm and collected. It was just another evening in her life, or so it seemed. Her husband, Rick, burst through the door, his leather jacket stained and his knuckles bruised. "Where's my dinner?" he growled, tossing his keys onto the table with a clatter. "Almost ready," Mia replied softly, glancing at him with a serene smile. She moved gracefully around the kitchen, her actions almost rehearsed, embodying the image of a dutiful wife. To Rick, Mia was merely his quiet, obedient partner, someone who would never question his authority or the dangerous world he inhabited. But beneath her composed exterior, a storm brewed. Mia was not the weak woman Rick perceived her to be, she was the leader of the Vipers, a gang that had swiftly risen to power in the criminal underworld. Known as the Fox, she had spent years orchestrating a plan for revenge against the Black Fangs, the gang responsible for her family's destruction. As Rick plopped down on the couch, flipping through television channels, Mia's phone buzzed on the counter. She casually picked it up, ensuring her back was turned to him. The message was brief but potent: "Target acquired." "Orders?" Mia typed back swiftly, her fingers steady. "Proceed as planned. Report back at 2 a.m. She slid the phone into her pocket, returning to her cooking, as Rick remained blissfully unaware of her true identity. "Rough night?" Mia asked, setting a steaming bowl of chili in front of him. "Nothing I can't handle," Rick muttered, slurping loudly. "Some kids tried to mess with our stash, but I took care of it." He grinned, leaning back in his chair, full of bravado. Mia's stomach churned at his arrogance. The punk kids Rick had dealt with were part of her crew, testing the Black Fang's defenses. They had reported back hours ago, detailing every weakness they had exploited. Rick was oblivious, boasting like a king, unaware of the real battle being fought. "You wouldn't understand this world," Rick said dismissively. "Of course," Mia nodded, her heart hardening. To him, she was fragile, incapable of grasping the violence and power struggles that defined his life. Little did he know, she had orchestrated much of the chaos he complained about. That night, as Rick snored loudly, Mia slipped out of bed, donning a hoodie and quietly exiting the house. A black SUV waited down the street. Inside sat two of her trusted lieutenants, both dressed inconspicuously yet radiating authority. "Everything set," one of them said as Mia slid into the back seat. "We moved the shipment before their crew even noticed." "Good," Mia replied, her voice steady. "Keep it clean. No unnecessary noise." "What about him?" she asked, glancing back toward her house. Mia hesitated for just a moment. "Not yet. He's still useful." As the SUV rolled away into the shadows of the city, Mia leaned back, her mind racing. Every day, she walked a fine line between her two lives. One misstep could expose everything, but the risk was worth it. The Black Fangs had taken everything from her, and she wouldn't stop until they were dismantled piece by piece. The following morning, Rick had already left when Mia woke up. A note on the kitchen counter read, "Be back late. Don't wait up." It was just as well. Mia had her own plans for the day. She headed downtown, blending seamlessly into the crowd, making her way to a small cafe that served as a front for the Vipers. In the back room, a large map of the city sprawled across a table, dotted with pins and markers. "We've got new intel on the Black Fangs," her lieutenant greeted her. "They're planning a big deal at the old warehouse tonight." "Perfect," Mia said, her eyes scanning the map. "Let's make sure they leave empty-handed." As the team strategized, Mia felt a flicker of satisfaction. The Black Fangs had no idea what was coming, and poor, oblivious Rick was about to discover just how strong his weak wife really was. As the day passed uneventfully, Mia returned home in the evening, preparing dinner as usual. When Rick came back, he was in a foul mood. "Someone messing with us?" Mia asked, keeping her tone light. "A whole shipment disappeared last night," Rick grumbled, slamming a beer bottle on the counter. "No trace. Nothing." Mia feigned surprise. "That's terrible. Do you think it's another gang?" "Probably," Rick muttered, his frustration evident. "Whoever it is, they've got guts." Elena turned away, hiding her smile. If only he knew. Later that night, as Jack swaggered into the Black Fang's clubhouse, a low hum of tension filled the room. He wasted no time barking orders at his crew, demanding answers for their recent setbacks. "Listen up," he commanded, drawing the attention of his men. "We're hitting back. Whoever's behind this won't see us coming." At home, Mia sat by the window, listening to the distant hum of Rick's motorcycle fading into the night. She glanced at her phone. A secure text message had just come in. "Intel confirmed, Black Fang's heading to the docks." "Orders?" She hesitated, knowing Rick was reckless but predictable. Typing quickly, she responded, "Proceed. Minimal confrontation. Leave no traces." Tonight's operation wasn't about fighting, it was about sending a message. The Vipers had built their reputation on precision and discipline, qualities the Black Fangs sorely lacked. When the Black Fangs arrived at the docks, Rick dismounted with confidence, barking orders for his crew to fan out and search for threats. But the docks were eerily quiet. "This doesn't feel right," one of his men muttered. "Cowards," Jack sneered. But even he could sense something was off. Suddenly, a flare shot up into the night sky, illuminating the area. From the shadows, figures dressed in dark clothing emerged, moving swiftly and precisely. Jack drew his weapon, but it was over before it began. The intruders didn't attack, instead, they planted devices on the Black Fang's vehicles. As engines roared to life, Jack realized too late that they had been outsmarted. Back at the Vipers' headquarters, Mia watched the operation unfold on her phone. "They'll figure out the tracker soon," her lieutenant said. "Was it worth the risk?" Mia nodded. "We don't need their bikes, we need their patterns. Jack's crew will lead us straight to their supply chain." That night, as Jack returned home, his temper was boiling. He paced the room, barking orders and hurling insults at his crew. "I'm done waiting," he growled. "We're hitting every gang in the city until someone talks." Meanwhile, Mia prepared for the showdown that loomed ahead. She sensed Jack's growing paranoia and knew it was only a matter of time before he connected the dots. As the tension escalated, the Black Fangs began their retaliatory strike, and Mia's crew was ready. The next evening, as Rick stormed into the warehouse, he found Mia standing at the head of the table with her lieutenants. "You," he shouted, pointing his gun at her. "It's been you all along." "Jack, put the gun down," Mia urged, stepping forward. But he wouldn't listen. "I am the Vipers," she declared, her voice steady. "Everything I've done has been to take down the Black Fangs." Rick's face twisted in disbelief. "Why? What did I ever do to you?" Mia's eyes flashed with anger. "Your gang destroyed my family. I've spent every day making sure you'd pay for what you did." In that moment, a standoff ensued. But just as Rick seemed ready to pull the trigger, one of his own men intervened. "Put the gun down, Jack. This is her turf now, not yours," the lieutenant said firmly. Rick's eyes darted between Mia and his crew, realizing he was outnumbered. He lowered his weapon, but the fight was not over. "I won't forget this," he snarled, storming out of the warehouse. In the aftermath, Mia and her crew secured the area, victorious but aware that Jack would not give up easily. The battle had been won, but the war was far from over. Mia felt a mixture of triumph and sorrow. She had dismantled the Black Fangs and avenged her family, but the cost weighed heavily on her heart. As she looked at her crew, she knew they had a long road ahead, but she was ready to face whatever came next. The game was only beginning.